says, name one. So he said, well, hurricanes. Can you do anything about that? Politics can. So here's what I explained to you. If you don't get it, you have to be blind enough to let me know you didn't get it. Okay? This is a shelter. Here's how it works. No hurricane can pick up an inverted cone. The air will whirl around it, but it can't suck the roof off. Anybody doesn't understand that? It's made of concrete. The windows are like airplane windows. Airplanes fly 600 miles an hour. No hurricane ever hits that. There's a double shear wind. There's a double window in each one of those holes. The doors slide open. It's very hard to open a door in a hurricane. Let someone in. Sliding works. The beds are all around, they come down. There's a turbine on the roof. The turbine is turned by the hurricane. And if the wind gets too strong, the pitch changes, so it always turns at the same speed. There's a governor that changes the pitch. Nobody makes adjustments. Now, what's that for? That keeps the lights and the refrigerated food intact. If you get a hurricane today, if there's a power outage for a week or 2 weeks, all the food rots in your refrigerator. Do you understand that? People say, take care. You know, what the hell can you do? Take care. Anyway, sometimes the government says, if you live in the North Sea, you'll live about 12 minutes in like ice water. Okay? No one's going to make it. So this passenger section, when the plane lands, is disengaged and goes down into the terminal, and a full one comes up. Airplanes don't need to sleep. They don't need to rest. While I'm speaking of it, I've been to about 50 restaurants, and I've never found a place to rest. Have you?
No.
So, here is your airplane. And if you're coming in for a landing, sometimes, once in a long while, the landing gear does not come down. You know, the guy presses the button, it doesn't, turns the crank, it doesn't come down. Once the landing gear doesn't come down, that blows the fuel out. There's a CO2 inert gas, and the inert gas can blow the fuel out. Most people are not killed by airplane accidents, they're killed by fire. Explodes, the gasoline spills over the hot engine. So if you're coming in for emergency landing, the fuel is blown out and you glide in. So anybody doesn't understand what I'm saying? Fine. Suppose you do land, everything's okay, but the brakes fail. That happens once in a long while. Well, that plane can plow into people, hangars. Once the brakes fail, the pilot steps on the brakes, that causes a resting gear to come up on the runway. That's a stainless steel net to stop the airplane from rolling. That's what I mean by integrated technical society. Not a bunch of technicians telling you, you will work in area D, you area K, you. This is Hollywood, 1984, Brave New World. A sane world is nothing like Hollywood movies on the future. It deals with problems, problem solving. Now, is it a democracy? People ask me. I put it this way, is it a participatory democracy? Well, I participate. Or they come here sometimes, I want to participate right away. That's good. How would you prevent cars from hitting each other? I don't know. How do you prevent buildings from catching fire? I don't know. How can you participate? Did you vote for the space program?
No.
Did anybody vote for the Vietnam War here? Did anybody vote for any war? Did anybody vote for the moon project? Where the hell do you participate? Another illusion.
We're in a republic, technically.
I didn't hear that.
We live in a republic. Our government's more like a republic. It's a democratic republic, but we just elect people. That's what we do.
Yeah, but somebody selects the people running the government, not you.
Yeah.
They're selected by the establishment. Now, the establishment means that which works that keeps those in power. They gave the money, your money, to the people that created the problem in the first place. How many of you knew that? all the money gets bailouts of the banks and all, they're all the troublemakers. That's the guts of the rot of the system. So, I'm not saying that socialism or communism is the answer. I want to do away with, in the Venus Project, all repetitious jobs. Meaning, if you work in a department store, say you do, behind a counter, that's not using your head, your brains. What can I do for you, ma'am? We have Tangy lipstick, hair lotion. If you work there for 15 years and you retire, you know what you got up here? Hair lotion, lipstick. In school, there's no courses in how to relate to people, how to find meaning in relationship. That's why you have psychologists and psychiatrists and social workers, another bunch of pinheads made by the system that deal with nothing. When the world hits you like that, you hit the world back. There's no information in that. There's no information in education. Very little. They turn you out to be a cog in the wheel. Is there anybody that doesn't understand these airplanes? I'll put it back. Okay. If you mind, I want to tell you something. I don't know why, but women marched for public library for years. They had rotten eggs thrown at them. All the same old story. Everything new. They said if you make books available to people free of charge, what's going to happen to bookstores that sell books? But books were very expensive in the old days. So they tried to get a library in so people that wanted to know would have access to books. Finally, they got it in. They got it in England, US, France, and when the public library was installed, it took about several months later. People read a little bit and they bought more books than ever because they knew more. They were wrong about if you made books available to kill the system. So, I want to have a section here where we have cameras. Any citizen can walk in and check out a camera. Non-citizen also can check out a camera. If a kid comes in, say about 11 years old, I'd like to check out a camera. You know how to use it? What do you want it for? Kid says, I love animals. Well, we'll give him a camera, show him how to use it, and say, please, take care of the camera. When you come back, we'll work with you on color and layout and try to help you do a better job. So we make those things available. Right here, musical instruments, saxophone, violin, whatever the hell you want, just like the library. That's the end of 90% juvenile crime. Now, if you make things available to people, they don't steal. If you live near a waterfall with its bubbling drinking water, like I did in Jamaica, there's a place called Ochos Rios, where 8 rivers come together. Beautiful water. Nobody steals the water. I never saw a guy fill his canteen and sneak off. There's so much of it. The air you breathe is absolutely valuable, but there's so much of it, they couldn't privatize it. Now you're running out of water. You have to pay $1 for a glass of water. They don't give a shit. You've got floods all over the country. Nobody is harnessing that water. Lots of water. Every time you flush the John, 40% of the nation's water goes down the John. So you live in a pretty sick society. What do you expect of politicians? They don't have to solve problems. They make laws. 90% of the laws are bullshit. They're unreal. Say no to drugs. If there's money in drugs, people go to sell drugs. Don't take anything that doesn't belong to you. When we won the war with Germany, we took their rockets, their airplanes, their engineers, and brought them here. We kidnapped them. Do you understand? Thou shalt not kill. When war comes, it's your patriotic duty. If the neighbor next door annoys the hell out of you and you shoot him, you get the chair, or they use cotton and clean you and give you an injection that kills you. See? So, I don't know why they sterilize it first, but anyway. The society you live in, with its prisons, its police, its brutality, and its military, all military people are stupid.